Adam 2 for 1. Today I want to talk about, like, man, I don't know what y'all guys are doing. Like, what's wrong with you people? You're putting your women on the front lines? Like, what kind of man puts his woman on the front lines? This thing, Antifa, you be seeing them, like, they be showing up with their women. Like, sometimes you can't tell because they got their mask on, but when they finally arrest them, you see that they're women. Like, what are these women doing here? Why do you have your women there? And they made this video. I don't know if it was real. It was the dumbest thing ever. But they were saying how there was too many men in the group and they need more women. I was like, what kind of man puts their women in a line of danger like that? Like, this thing about women and men being the same and we're all equal, that is not true. Matter of fact, I had several examples that women and men are not equal. They're not the same, and that's good. Matter of fact, it was just recently there was a man that said he was a trans woman, and he entered the women's weightlifting finals or championships or whatever competition, and he was #1. And this dude don't look nothing like no woman. I don't think the only thing he did was, like, I guess he got either breast implants or maybe some hormones or something. I don't know, but you can see, like, the look on the second place, third place, the look on their face. Because a woman on the left, I think she was, third. She was just sitting there looking like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And the other woman was laughing. And I was like, these are like supposed to be like the strongest women, the women are supposed to represent and say that the women are the strongest, they can do weightlifting. And a man who said he's now a trans woman gets #1. And I was thinking, like, you know what? I think these men, they know how they're taking advantage of how let's say ignorant women are, and thinking that women are just as strong as men. And they're joining women's sports to get #1. They know that women are ignorant, and they don't know, they keep thinking that they're equal, and these men are joining these sports and they're just dominating these sports. Like I said, it was just recently, it was a woman who is taking hormones to be more like a male. She was #1 in her wrestling competition, and there was a controversy around it. The reason that they say she cheated because she was taking hormones, unless she was taking steroids. So women have to take steroids to just be strong as men, and she won because she was taking steroids. So it'll be fine if women were joining sports with men and won't taking steroids or hormones, and then we can see, hey, are they equal? No, they're not. It just shows that they're not. So it's the same way. We shouldn't put our women on front lines. We should be protecting them. The same reason why we shouldn't be putting them in the wars. You're putting them in wars with other men. What happens if the men are attracted to the women? Now we gotta make them ugly or something? I mean, what happens if a woman gets pregnant during war? I mean, are you gonna want a pregnant woman on the front lines? I mean, what happens when a woman has her period on the front lines? I mean, do you want that? I mean, I don't understand. Just like women or men are equal, it's never been true and it'll never be true, and they don't need to be equal. You should be protecting your women, and that's the one thing. Because I saw one protest where they just the Antifa, they sprayed a woman with pepper spray, and the whole group of conservatives came together to protect that woman. And I've seen, and I was just thinking, like, if I had a woman and she showed up at a protest, it's time for us to go. Because I'm not putting you don't put your woman in danger. You protect your women. So you try to do everything you do to get a woman out of harm's way. And the thing about women and men are equal, Not true. Ain't gonna happen. And don't need to be. Now, I do know that when women are pregnant, they're saying that just going into labor is just like breaking like your bones or something. So when it comes to that type of strength, like women have a certain type of strength when it's needed, but when it's like long term strength, because a lot of the of desert wars, like Middle Eastern wars, you have to travel in the desert with this back, this book bag looking thing, backpack on your back. This thing's like 50 pounds. Some say it's like 100 pounds, and you have to carry this thing like miles and miles through the desert, and with your your assault rifle. And you have to carry this sometimes up mountains and whatnot, and all this crazy. And do you really think a woman can go that far? And think about it, a woman has to have a period. Nothing is stopping that. Women can get pregnant. Nothing is stopping that. There's no abortion, clinic laying around in, Afghanistan or something for to have an abortion. Anyway, so there's no need to put your women on front lines. You should be protecting your women, and we should be equal. I don't really see the point of that. People say, well, do you believe in equal rights? That means that you're a feminist. No, I don't think we should even worry about equal rights, really. I think we should worry about equal opportunity, because if women want to do things the same thing as men, they should really want to do it. They shouldn't do it because quota, or because we have to prove that we're just like the men. I would rather women just want to do it naturally, because if you've seen women make choices naturally, they usually don't want to do men's jobs. They're not trying to be like boiler operators or working in the mines. I don't see no women fighting to try to be working in some mines. In them jobs where you might die. It's like those the guys who fix the electric poles and stuff, electric lines. I don't see no women fighting for them jobs, because they know you might die on them jobs. Any type of construction jobs where you gotta be like 100 feet in the air, or any type of jobs where you gotta go up on a skyscraper and clean the windows on a canopy or something. I don't see no women fighting for them jobs. Of course, they want the jobs that are on the ground, that are all social jobs that you have to be around people. But ain't no jobs where they gotta be 100 feet in the air, 1,000 feet in the air. They're not fighting for none of them jobs, because they know they don't want them jobs. They don't want the jobs that men have to do. Because men don't even want the job, but men have to be the protectors. They have to be strong, and they have to be the leaders. So it's not a big deal that we're not equal. It's better that we're not. It's better that women should focus on the best things about them and the things that they can do, like being mothers, being support, and being caregivers. And men should focus on being protectors and being strong, and be able to handle and control emotions, holding emotions. So from born to 8, the mother should be in charge. 8 to up, the man should be in charge. The man is actually the one, he's in charge of making sure that the child can handle his emotions. So the woman is in charge from it being born into 8. And then from 8 to up, the man should take over and control all of that. Because it's really the man that's teaching the son how to control his emotions. The reason why people fly off on the handle and they don't know how to protect themselves, and they have to be told everything what to do, is because nobody taught them that. So if you have grown people walking around 18 to 20, 18 to 30, that don't know how to protect themselves and get easily offended really easily, is because nobody taught them how to control their emotions. And nobody let them do the things they're supposed to do on their own. Eventually, the child has to do things on its own. And if you're from 18 to 30 still teaching the person how, still doing things for him, they're never going to learn. And when they go out there in the real world, it ain't going to end well. So we have to toughen up. We have to express our emotions in the correct way. We should stop this "we are equal" stuff, because it ain't true. I don't believe in it. So, because rights and laws don't apply to everybody, and even if you have laws, doesn't mean that we're all going to follow them at the same time. So there's rights and laws that exist, but they don't apply to every single person. So there might be laws that exist for certain people, but you might not encounter any of these consequences. So it doesn't really apply to you. So laws and rights are kind of like for individuals. So do I believe in equal rights? I don't think it even matters. I think all you need to do is focus on you, your family, your woman, your daughter, your sons, your community. Make sure that's straight. And once you get your, because I'm saying, once you get your community straight, then you can focus on other communities. You know, but you haven't made your community straight, and you already focus on something. You already gone on to another community. You know, focus on your community, yourself, your family, your people, and then you can move on. If you haven't mastered yourself and your family around you, and your family hasn't mastered themselves and your community, now how are you going to help other communities? You can't, whatever. So you're going out there protesting, and you haven't fixed your own community yet. Why are you going after the Republican community? You need to fix your community first, and then you can go out and protest their community. First, your community first. Your home first. And then you can move on. So, the only way we can help people is let them do what they need to do themselves. We don't have to tell people what to do. We don't have to say, well, you have to feel this way. You need to talk this way. You need to ask these questions. No. Let them decide for themselves what they need to think and what they need to believe. We don't need to be telling nobody nothing. You know, we don't need to tell women you have to be equal to men and all this stuff. You don't need to tell black people you need to do this. No, they'll find out on their own. You know, and sometimes people never change. You say, man, people ain't gonna never change sometimes. I be yelling at them all day, they're never gonna change. Well, they're gonna change eventually. It's just gonna be really, it's gonna be a really uncomfortable experience for them when they finally do change. But don't worry about them. But if it affects you, if their beliefs affect you, and that's when you step in, like, okay, I gotta get up out of here. I can't deal with you no more. Time to go. So if their beliefs affect you, then you step in. But if they don't, then you can go about your business. Alright, peace out.